All right, welcome to the first version of Dudes and Duds. So I'm going to go over, we've been through 5 rounds in our league. I'm going to go over some cards of guys that are absolute dudes, crushing it as you would expect it, just being unbelievable, right? Led off by Aaron Judge, of course, right? Go over some strong performers. These are guys that they're solid, right? And they're playing as they should play about where they're getting drafted, in my opinion, right? Go over some guys that are surprises so far, right? They're really doing great in our league, at least. I think you can get them for cheap in a standard draft, and I tell you, they're performing well for us. And we've gone through 5 rounds of, so that's 20 games, and these guys are really doing well. Then I've got some okay, but those are guys that frankly they're doing all right. They all have limitations, and those limitations are larger than I would expect. And frankly, I think a lot of them are getting drafted too high, and are getting overvalued during drafts. So you can get them if you can get them later, knowing what their limitations are. They might be worth it. And then finally, the duds. These are guys I will not draft again, ever. Just people just aren't playing well for various reasons. So I call them the duds. So hope you enjoyed. I expect there will be a lot of controversy on some of these because this is based on 20 games for each of these guys, but it's also based on what I value, what works, I think, in Stratomatic in the 23 card deck here. So have fun, enjoy it. Leave some comments.
All right, we're starting with the dudes, the studs of the card set. Aaron Judge is the real deal. This guy absolutely crushes the ball. Not only does he hit homers left and right, he gets on base, he hits for average. He's a 1E0 and right. He's the real deal. Spencer Strider, don't like the 4.10 against righties and 5.9 against lefties. It comes up more than you would think. But this guy, other than that, is awesome. Strikeout pitcher, really performs. Justin Verlander, same thing. He gets exposed a little bit more to home runs. That's a beautiful thing about Strider. He's got no homers on his card. But the real deal, man, he comes in, he's got like a 1.6 ERA for me. Christian Javier, this guy is a stud. He is a strikeout pitcher, gets him out of jams all the time. He doesn't give anything up against lefties as far as home runs. A little exposure against righties for home runs, but overall he has been really performing well. Edwin Diaz, not only is he really good, he's just fun to play. This guy is just a blast. You play the music, he's cool, he's the real deal. All right, this next group I like to call strong performers. These guys have really had a pretty good season. They're pretty solid, not perfect. They're not like the dudes, but they're pretty close. Real strong performers. Michael Harris, he's a center fielder 1. He's got a great glove. He's got a great arm. He's got some speed, crushes righties. He's only, he doesn't hit lefties that well, but he is a very strong performer. Luis Castillo, one of the best starting pitchers out there, undervalued. The guy just, he's solid. He's solid. He's a little exposure to that ballpark effect homer on a 4-3 against lefties. But other than that, he's strong. Schwarber crushes homers. The guy only hits 220. I don't care. I've had him in 3 different leagues. He always leads in home runs. That 3.8 comes up all the time. This guy is going to nail homers left and right. Jose Altuve, the only for him is he's a second base 3. His range is a little light, and he's not a great clutch hitter, but the guy's been crushing the ball for me. He gets on base, hits homers, does a lot of things. Zach Wheeler is just the consummate professional. The guy just gets it done. He just is a solid, steady performer. He's an E0, pitcher of a 2. He started at 6 and has low exposure to home runs. Really just steady Eddie. Teoscar Hernandez, baby, crushes lefties. That 2.8, 2.9, and 2.10 is just absolutely unbelievable. Doesn't matter what ballpark. This guy's a stud. Duran, really good. Really good reliever, especially because he doesn't get tired of the second inning, so he can go a little longer than some other guys, and he still can close the 4. Really strong performer. Julio Arias, I was a little leery on this guy because of the home runs he gives up, but I'm telling you, this guy has overperformed almost everybody. He has been a stud, really worth as a strong performer. All right, this next group is biggest surprises. These are guys that have just absolutely, in my opinion, come out of nowhere and have just had a great season so far. Biggest surprises has to start with Josh Rojas. This guy is crushing the ball. He just gets on base. He's a bunting of an A. He's a stealing of an A. He does a ton of things. He pesters me left and right. I can't keep him off base. He's incredible. He's a left-hander. Defense is a little suspect, but been big. Brendan Rodgers is a stud. This guy not only is a 1E12 at second, which is incredible, he crushes lefties. Now, he's a platoon guy, but I'm telling you, he bats fourth, fifth, third, anywhere against. He'll carry your team against lefties. Michael King, consummate reverse righty, unbelievable. Love those reverse righties out of the pen, and frankly, I think he's one of the best. Exposure to the home runs on that 5'9", 5'11", but other than that, he's really, really good. Jose Quintana, this is a guy that he gives up singles. Guys are going to get on base, right? But that's usually what he keeps them to. I know he's got the 4.8, 4.9 doubles, but in general, no homers, keeps the ball in the yard, small ball. He's really performed well. Mark Canha, hit by pitches come up all the time with this guy, and I think it's undervalued. People don't see it. He gets on base. Not only that, not great range in the outfield, but that E0 comes in big. So he is definitely someone who's overperformed. Travis d'Arnaud, I love this guy against lefties. Great platoon player. He balances out. There's a lot of catchers that crush righties out there. You can bring d'Arnaud in and platoon him with either Rutschman or Cal Raleigh. Finally, Mookie Betts, my favorite card because I got wine spilled on it. Betts does a lot of stuff, man. Not only does he crush lefties with power, but he seems to get on base. He's great in the field, and he's got some speed. Really good performer. All right, this next group is what I call the okay, but these are guys I think they're getting drafted too early in standard tournaments. They got a lot of limitations. So I'll start with Dylan Cease. Man, those walks come up a lot. That 5.5, 5.6 against lefties, and then all those walks on 4.6, 4.7. He's leading the league in walks, and it hurts him. It bites him. So I think he's getting drafted too high. Nolan Arenado. He doesn't have the power against righties as you think he would, right? Those 210, 211 ballpark effects are okay, but man, he makes a lot of errors. E15, you wouldn't think. He makes a ton of errors, so his glove is not as good as you would think. Juan Soto, guy gets on base. That's it. There is no power. There is no singles. There is no speed. He's a 3 in right, which is a liability, only a negative of arm. He just gets on base. Being drafted way too high, in my opinion. Then you got Shohei Ohtani. This guy is a far better pitcher than he is a hitter. Really good pitcher. Pitcher card by himself, one of the top 10 pitchers. Guy can't hit. He cannot hit. He can't field. Marcus Semien, great glove. Can't hit a lick. If you know that going in, I love the 1E8. If you know he's not going to hit a lick, you're okay. He will not hit a lick. So he won't even hit 200 for you. Similar, Cedric Mullin. Decent glove in center. He's a 2. I'd like to see a better arm, but E0. So he's got the glove, he's got the speed, and he's a decent bunter. But he doesn't hit. He hits like 180. So don't expect any batting average out of him. Adley Rutschman, I think he's got a -2 arm. Great. He hits righties really well. He's getting drafted too high because he does not hit lefties hardly at all. I mean, even his on base, it's all walks. Way overvalued. And now we get into the duds. I will do my best not to curse. These guys have sucked. I don't think I'll ever draft any one of them ever again. So let's get into it. We'll start with Austin Riley. He's got a little bit of power. Guy hits nothing. And he makes errors. Way too many errors at third base. Against lefties, he's got that power on the 2.8. But if you're not in the right diamond ballpark, this guy's a dud. Andrew Benintendi. This is where I'm going to curse. This guy stinks. I swear he's hitting like 150 for me, right? He's a power W against lefties and righties. If he does get on, it's a single or a walk, and then he just sits there because he's a C. He's got no speed. This guy blows. He's only 2 in left too. I thought he was a 1. Nemo, center field, +1 arm in center. The guys run rampant on him, and he doesn't get on base, and he's got no power. This guy, even though he's power in, this guy is a dud. I would rather have anybody else in center field. Never draft him again. It's going super way too high. Nemo's a dud. Matt Olson, love his glove at the 1E8, but I'm telling you, I know he's got that 1/9 straight homer against righties, but he just doesn't get on base. I think he's hitting like 150 for Dan, right? And he doesn't scare me, right? 1/9 homer, great. I past that. That's nothing. Nico Amsel-Horner. This guy just doesn't get on base nearly as much as you think he would. And when he is on base, it's usually a single. Last year he had a bunch of doubles on his card. Doesn't have it anymore. His 1E17, E17's high. If it's short, he can get better. So Julio Rodriguez is going to lead your league in strikeouts. This guy strikes out more than anybody else. Plus, he's got all these triple 105 fly ball otherwise, double 111 fly ball. This guy is not worth the draft pick at all. Definitely a dud.
All right, wrapping it up. I hope you enjoyed the intro photos there. Those are pictures I've taken various parts of the world that I've traveled to, so I hope you enjoyed those. Hey, I expect that this is just one man's take, and through 20 games, I expect that a lot of people might agree, a lot more people probably disagree. But hey, that's why there's a comment section. So feel free to add your input, and hope you enjoyed this, and have a good week.